Good morning, everyone. Black Nurses Rock DMV chapter is having their second breast cancer awareness today. We would like to thank you all for tuning in on live on Facebook. Today, we have the honor to team up with Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated, the Beta Kappa chapter, joining us with breast health event, and our outstanding breast cancer survivors will be discussing their journey. First, let's start off with some breast cancer statistics. Breast cancer affects everyone. It doesn't have any discrimination. Breast cancer affects the loved ones in the family also. It affects the whole family dynamics. 1 out of 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And this is the number second leading death for women across the US. Black and white women, breast cancer rate is level at the same, but the mortality rate is higher in African American women. And we found out that the reason why, mostly because Black women are more susceptible to have the triple negative breast cancer than are counter white women. Also lack of insurance, racial disparity, and health disparity. Black women, according to American Cancer Society, is 41% more likely to die than white women. That has been their statistics. In the DC area, there has been research done by Georgetown University by the nurses, and they have found that on the whole, the African American women in Washington, DC are likely to die 1.5 times more than white women in the District of Columbia. And these wards are mostly in DC wards 7 and 8, and it relates to what I was talking to earlier about health disparity, food deserts, and a lack of just knowledge of knowing not where to go at to get free health care or free mammograms. Among our outstanding warriors, there is a fight for fair health care and respect for women in breast cancer, and I will be introducing her shortly. So Black Nurses Rock DMV chapter and the Beta Phi Omega outstanding warriors want to empower and to proactively about your breast health. There are 4 types of breast cancers. There are ductal carcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma, inflammatory, and metastatic breast cancer. Breast health starts with knowing your breast, and knowing how normal your breasts feel. So they recommend a monthly breast examination and when you reach the age of 40 to have at least a yearly mammogram. If you are high risk, they will start asking to do breast ultrasounds. And to know to know your breast is to know your different areas of lumps. Is that normal? Any pain, and how your breasts change during your menstrual cycle, and also menopause. If you have any abnormalities in your breast, like discharge in your nipples or lumps that are not usually there, because some Black women are very cystic in the breast, or any abnormalities in the nipple, you should seek out medical care. There are centers through DC that do give free mammograms, and one is DC Breast Care and on 4th Atlantic Street Southwest. And we also will have a young lady to talk about Georgetown Breast Care Center also following up. These are some things that are for health-wise to decrease breast cancer is to quit smoking, eliminate alcohol or stop drinking, a healthy weight, eat healthy 5 vegetables and fruit. They are recommending 2.5 hours of exercise per week and avoid processed food. We all underestimate sleep. We're always busy wanting to finish things and get everything done, but sleep is very important for the body. That is the time when the body heals and relax and be able to recover from any issues you're having. Also, stress. Stress can trigger, they have found out that stress can trigger breast cancer. A little extra fact, when you go for a mammogram, that is like a little extra there. They also can detect cardiovascular disease because the arteries that are in your breast can show calcification, which can be a detection to help you go to get further help with a cardiovascular doctor. We hope some of the information we give through the journeys here will help you have a better relationship with your breast. And we ask everyone, please go get a mammogram every year. Know your breast, do your breast examination every month, and take care of yourself. Next up, I'll have the honor to introduce Rhonda Hamilton, who works with the Lombardi Center Walking Warrior. She will talk about Black Nurses Rock and our relationship with them. Rhonda also is a patient navigator and community outreach coordinator with Georgetown University Capital Breast Care Center. And I want to thank Rhonda for joining us and giving us her information about the Walking Warriors.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Rhonda Hamilton, and I'm a patient navigator with the Capital Breast Care Center, CBCC, which is a part of Georgetown University Lombardi Cancer Center, Office of Minority Health and Health Disparities Research. Working at CBCC is one of the most amazing efforts that I've had an opportunity to be a part of. The chance to make a difference in the lives of others is something that I truly feel and am honored to be able to do. When I think about the lives that we have touched as navigators, it truly brings joy to my heart. We all know that annual screenings leads to early detection, which saves lives. We at CBCC are truly grateful for you all, the Walking Warriors and Black Nurses Rock. You are our unsung heroes and angels to our patients. As our sponsors, you are helping us to do extraordinary things in this city and throughout the metropolitan area. Because of your tremendous dedication to CBCC, those who do not have health insurance will be able to have mammograms and diagnostic follow-up. Without the level of care that you all have for our patients, the extraordinary strides that we make together would not be possible. There is power in numbers when united together for a common goal. It is because of your generosity of the Walking Warriors partner with Black Nurses Rock that our efforts to increase mammography screening rates in the DMV are as successful as they are. We are eternally grateful to each one of you, and thank you for your continued support and commitment to CBCC.
Thank you, Rhonda. Black Nurses Rock and Beta Phi Omega, we thank you for your time and come and join us today to give out some information. And we truly are thankful. And we are honored to help the Walking Warriors. So next on our list, we have this warrior, evangelist Charlene Mullins. She is a CEO of Do It Production. She's marketed many multiple venues. Her favorite motto said, God can do anything but fail. Amen. She also was the founder of For Us Community Outreach in Gastonia, North Carolina. And with further ado, I want to thank Evangelist Charlene Mullins to come and share her journey with us. We would thank you very much.
Greetings. Let me take my glasses off. How y'all doing today? Morning blessings to everyone. Thank you so much, Nola. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. If I'm not, don't charge my heart. Thank you to everyone that's on the panel to make this happen because I know doing something to this magnitude is a lot of work. And I want to thank you. And I am truly honored to be here to share my journey with you all. I can say back in 2011, um, I was I went to my OBGYN. I actually been in the healthcare field for 30 years and I was working for OBGYN. And they had this particular I can't remember the name of the machine, but it was a machine and that they would test women. Like instead of you going to have your mammogram done, I think it was called the Halo. It was a Halo machine. That's what it was called. And you stick your breast in this machine and it pumps like whatever not cells, but if you had any type of discharge or anything like that that came out of your breast, which I did. And so they sent that up, and I hope you all can hear me. They sent that test up, and it was some of the reading on my test was not regular. So I had a mammogram done. This was 2011, and then we were going into 2012. In 2012, I wound up going over to Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute, and I was wondering why, for me having my mammogram, because let me back up a little bit. I went to Georgetown first to have my mammogram screening done. And from there, my results, nobody would ever actually tell me what they were saying. They just kept saying it was irregular, it was irregular. Um, and so I was like, okay. So I'm kind of, at this time, my faith wasn't as strong as it is today. But I was kind of weary. I was kind of, the worryation came up and I was like, why nobody? And I'm really concerned. So I get over to, and this is 2012 now, July. I get over to Washington Hospital Center and having another screening done, but they wind up doing a sonogram, on my breast. So mind you, I'm through all these tests, and I still have not was told that I had breast cancer. You know, um, I was in here having the sonogram done, and if it sounds like I'm all over the place, y'all, I'm just trying to regulate my thoughts and how this process went. Um, so I had the sonogram done, and of course, they seen something, cells. Still nobody is saying anything. Still nobody is saying you got cancer. I went and had a needle biopsy. One of the most uncomfortable feelings where I had to lean my breast down into this like in a hole, and I had to lay a certain type of way, and I couldn't move. I had to be still, and so it was my left breast, just so you all know. So I went and had that needle biopsy thing done. When I had that done, that's when, it came back. I had to have a meeting over. I had to go into Washington Cancer Institution. And I said, why am I going to a cancer institution? From here to there, I'm being sent over to a cancer institution. So I go in here and I'm meeting with these doctors, and it was a whole, I can remember it was so many people that came into this room. It was nurses, it was interns, it was a whole lot of people. And I say it had to be about 9 to 10 people that came in this room. And I'm really tripping now because I'm like, why am I here? So the nurse, and I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I know we don't have a lot of time, but this nurse, she was talking to me. She said, I'm here to give you support. Um, and she said, I want to wait for the doctor to come in. And so the doctor come in and all these other people come in. And I was told that I had breast cancer at that time. So, mm, so that part right there, and I get a little sentimental with this, um, because I never thought, it would be me. And granted, it's been 8 years, and I always tell people, not only am I a survivor, I'm an overcomer because it has not come back. But going through that journey, I happened to be cut. They set me up for surgery. My grandmother, my spiritual grandmother, my mom was there, and I had the surgery. And what they did, they removed the mass. Didn't have to have my breast removed. To God be the glory. And it was an early stage. So right now, my breast has a metal plate in it where that mass was. So every time I go, to have mammograms every 6 months, just to, you know, make sure nothing is growing in that area. But I didn't have to have chemo, to God be the glory, but I had to have radiation. And I tell you, that process and having to go to work and, tell the company that I was working for, and they was very supportive. I had a great support team. My mom, my spiritual family, and my job was very supportive, for me having to be off from work, after you having radiation, that is so tiresome. Like, it was really tiresome, like, because you be so exhausted, you be tired, taking medication. But taking medication, and then, after they telling you, after hearing a lot of stories, I did a lot of walks, to support cancer awareness and stuff like that. It was actually a journey in my life that it took a turn. Like, my eating habits, um, just I changed what I was eating, exercise. I was doing everything that I supposed to do that I thought was the right things to do. And you don't think about those things until sometimes things drastically help or happens to you, and then you begin to shift things in your life. So I eat differently. And like I said, that process was something that I wouldn't wish nobody to have to go through it. And I have friends, some friends that, like my dad, he had prostate cancer, and I seen how it tore my father apart. Like, he didn't even look the same. So I tilt my hat. I pray for the people that actually is still undergoing it, and I've been out of remission, to God be the glory, and it's been 8 years, and I am an overcomer. So I thank you all for allowing me to share. I could go on, but that right there was enough it changed my life, the way I think, the way I eat, the way I do a whole lot of things. And thank you so much.
Charlene, thank you. That was so heartfelt. You are truly a warrior, and we are so blessed and honored you sharing that with us, because that is something very personal, and we truly, truly, truly appreciate it very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay,
Thank you.
truly do. You are definitely a warrior, and I know you are blessed and going to blessed, and truly favored. So
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
very much. I really, truly, we all truly appreciate it. It got to me. So I'm coming from my heart. So thank you very much. I,
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
we'll see you again.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. um, I have the honor to introducing a lady we honored last year at our first breast cancer awareness. The beautiful Thelma D. Jones. She is very outspoken. She is also a warrior of breast cancer. She is an advocate, a peacemaker, and warrior for other women and men that have breast cancer and families that are affected by breast cancer. Thelma, thank you again. We always are honored to have you here and come and talk about your foundation and all the wonderful things you are doing through DC that people don't even know that you are there. They don't even really know the fight that you do out there and advocate for people. I want to thank you, and I'm going to leave it up to you to talk about your journey and your foundation.
Thank you so much, Winona, and I am happy to be a part of Black Nurses Rock DMV and the Beta Phi Omega Sorority Inc. Beta Kappa chapter for your second annual Breast Cancer Awareness Month celebration. As you said earlier, I was with you last year, and I am so pleased to be back with you again this year and look forward to next year as well. I am pleased to share with you briefly some of the impact that the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund has had on thousands of women, men, seniors, young girls, and boys. The mission of the Thelma Jones Breast Cancer Fund is, in short, to help to reduce the incidence and mortality rates of breast cancer, and really focus on the disinvested or our historically underserved communities in the Washington, D.C. area. Our vision is to embrace and achieve a world community free of breast cancer. So, how do we carry out our mission? Through our signature program, the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund Support Group, we meet monthly on the third Wednesday at 6 p.m. Because of the pandemic, we are holding our meetings via Zoom and the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund Facebook Live. This is certainly a different format, but we are reaching more people that way from different states throughout the U.S. So, as my parents used to say, every ill wind blows some good. We are able to reach a much broader audience throughout the country, but at the same time, the men and women who come to the support group monthly are letting me know that they really miss our monthly gathering. And that's because our support group is just what it says. We give support to women and men, to caretakers at breast health. We have some of the most wonderful speakers actually in the world, because many of them are internationally renowned or known. We have speakers such as Dr. Lucille Adams Campbell from Georgetown Lombardi Cancer Center. As many of you know, because I've said this hundreds of times, Dr. Adams Campbell was the first African-American woman to receive her PhD in epidemiology in this country. So we are so happy to have her, and a number of other areas. We've had people like Andrea Rowan, who is a renowned journalist. And as you know, when she was with WUSA9 for decades, she was great and championed her Buddy Check 9 program, which some of you may have been a part of it. We've also had people like the late Dick Gregory, Mandy Chapman from George Washington University, Dr. Carla Williams from Howard University, and I can name a lot of other people, but in the interest of time, I would refer you to my website, the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund website, www.tdjbreastcancerfund.org. Some of our meetings, it's done in a way that it allows speakers, particularly prior to Zoom, it allowed the survivors to share their feelings and concerns, just as Charlene was, because we provided a safe and secure space to help women and men who've been silent or concerned about their journey. We give them a space surrounded by other survivors to inspire and encourage them to talk about their diagnosis, because we believe that no one should walk their journey alone. We also have theme types subjects for each month. For instance, January is almost always dedicated to advocacy. February is Black History Month and Men's Health and Male Breast Cancer. Black Philanthropy Month in August. We also do our celebration of the anniversary of the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund Support Group in every April. The past April, we had a wonderful celebration of 10 years, and we all know 10 is a big number. So I think I mentioned the support group is the signature program of the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund. The fund was actually created in September 2012 on the 60th anniversary of yours truly. So now you do the math and you can tell how young I am, assuming you're good in math. We also focus on topics such as health size. We look at different cancer types, triple negative. As a matter of fact, next Wednesday, our two guest speakers, Melanie Nix, are both triple negative survivors. They will share their story. That's next Wednesday, 6 p.m., a virtual meeting, and their discussion will be moderated by Dr. Richard Kennedy, who is the former chief medical officer at the World Bank Group, which is where the two of us met, and that both one of our guest speakers both serve on the board of the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund. And so when we look at some of the other things that our breast cancer fund does, is that we release an e-blast of upcoming events, activities. The e-blast could contain things about jobs, requests to serve on boards or committees. It has information to help recruit tons of breast cancer survivors for focus group dialogues, conversations. If people such as the American Cancer Society is looking for breast cancer survivors to be interviewed on the radio, the television, we work in collaboration with a number of organizations to help ensure that a number of things are done, because we have learned that together we can bring our voices, resources, and enthusiasm to help reduce the serious challenge of breast cancer incidents, and breast cancer mortalities. We realize that we are strong in numbers, and that's why we have a number of partnerships, such as with Georgetown Lombardi Cancer Center, Howard University, the Civic Organization in Southwest, the Southwest Neighborhood Assembly, of course, with Black Nurses Rock, DMV, and a number of others. So if I didn't name all of my partnerships, it is just a matter of timing. And again, I would encourage you to visit our website. So some of the other things that we do is that we participate in various walks, whether it's with the American Cancer Society or Komen for the Cure. We also do fundraising for other activities related to breast health or cancer in general. In terms of, we have what you call the Evelyn B. Curtis Award, and I am pleased that Jacqueline Beal, who is a part of the program, is our Evelyn B. Curtis Award recipient. And that is basically a wonderful opportunity for a person who embodies the characteristics of Evelyn B. Curtis, who was enthusiastic, she was caring, she was giving, she was someone who valued education and helping others, among a number of things. Evelyn transitioned in 2017, and because of the passion that she had, such as coming to the meeting the night that she had been at Howard University all day long and learning that her triple negative fate would eventually succumb, that she would leave us. And because of that and what she gave to the Breast Cancer Fund, I thought it was only appropriate that we help to carry out her legacy by having an award in her honor. Another important aspect is the navigation work. So many of you know that I was trained as one of the best community breast care navigators in integrative oncology through Smith Center, for Smith Center for Healing and the Arts, which is also one of our partners. And next, and I'm sort of blanking on the date, but I did send it out, but I will be a guest speaker for the second annual Survivors Voices with Smith Center, where we will honor a young lady who transitioned as a result of her cancer. And I've just mentioned that we've lost two people, but this is also why I mentioning that it's also important that we continue to have events like this to raise awareness of breast cancer. Developments in treatment have moved a long ways from what it used to be. Women and men who develop breast cancer are living much, much longer. So we now know that every breast cancer diagnosis is not a death sentence. So I do hope that if men and women are looking for a support group, that you will consider the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund. My telephone number is on the website, but it is 202-251-1639. We also have an Instagram and a YouTube. And in terms of helping to reduce breast cancer incidences, we work with GW Hospital's Mammovan in screening women, and particularly in Southwest, which is where I live. So Southwest has the city's largest concentration of government, and it becomes a barrier for women to get to hospitals beyond their community. We come to them to help reduce that barrier, and I am happy that we can do that. And much of the women who come also come out of a relationship that I have and a trust factor. As we all know, a lack of trust is still a huge barrier in women and men being screened. So one of the services that, another service that we offer is financial assistance. We provide a limited amount of financial assistance to breast cancer survivors for their utility bills, for family bereavement, transportation costs, and transportation costs for medical appointments. That is a fund that my goal is to have it $10,000 or more so that we can be even more supportive of efforts like that. So again, I hope you will consider attending our breast cancer meeting, which is the third Wednesday of every month, and at 6 p.m. Via Facebook Live. And I should just mention too, in closing, that we do a number of COVID out relief activities. So for 5 months, every single day from April to the end of August, the Thelma D. Jones Breast Cancer Fund, in collaboration, partnership with the Southwest BID, James Creek Resident Council, River Park, and a lot of enthusiasts, more than 10,000 meals to the seniors of River Park and to the immune compromised people. We also included in that group younger people who lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic. Impact on our seniors and many other people to help with food insecurity, food security. Also, because as you know, being an elderly person puts you at greater risk for contracting COVID-19. So that we were providing the meals to the seniors at their residence, prevented them from going out, venturing out and being at greater risk, because that was a fear that many of the seniors had. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to returning next year.
Thelma, as usual, thank you as always. I always enjoy your meetings. I met so many interesting people there, and Thelma has introduced me to a lot of people that also
back. We also, oh, there she
yes.
is.
Yes. But I want to thank you very much again, Thelma. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay? We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I have the honor. Thelma kind of talked about Miss Jacqueline Beal. She was the ward of the Evelyn B. Curtis. She is going to honor us with her journey through her cancer walk. And we truly appreciate you too, Jacqueline, coming out. And I know you work very well with Thelma also. You also is a big advocate too. So thank you again, Jacqueline, for helping us out. Black Nurses Rock and a Beta Phi Omega. Thank you.
Thank you, Winona. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm honored to come speak this morning. So thanks again to Black Nurses Rock, DMV chapter, and the Beta Phi Omega sorority, the Beta Kappa chapter. I am a two-time 18-year breast cancer survivor, and I come from a family of women that, unfortunately, it appears that the oldest female sibling of every generation is being diagnosed with cancer. So what I mean by that is My grandmother is the oldest of her siblings, and she was diagnosed with brain cancer. My mother was the oldest of her siblings, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer. I have a first cousin who's the oldest of her siblings, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then I'm the oldest of mine diagnosed with breast cancer. Another similarity among us all is that we've all been diagnosed in our 30s. So fairly young back then. Now it's getting progressively younger. And so I knew enough about breast cancer and what to do as a caregiver for my mother. And so one day I was doing my self breast exam and I felt something. And, you know your body better than anyone, I tell anyone, and it didn't feel normal. So I decided to go to the doctor and she agreed, yes, something's there. So I went to have a mammogram and it didn't show up on the mammogram. So I tell people now, thank God for 3D mammography and especially emphasis on women with dense breasts, because for those of you who know or may not know, on a mammogram, cancer will show up white on a mammogram, and breast density shows up the same. So I then went to have a sonogram and didn't show up on the sonogram either. And so we know something was there. We could still feel it. So I then went to have a biopsy. And I tell everyone I knew my journey needed to be filled with a lot of laughter, because when my doctor called to give me the results of my biopsy, there was a lot of noise in the background, and unbeknownst to me, my doctor was trying to hail a cab at the same time sharing with me that I had breast cancer. So I said, this journey is going to be an interesting one, and I need to fill it with not just a lot of love, but a lot of laughter. So I finished my day out at work, and then I called my sister, who's my rock, and told her. And that next day, I spent some time at home having what I call my pity party, until I saw a St. Jude commercial where you see these young kids that are being diagnosed with cancer, going through chemotherapy and other treatments. And I decided, okay, get over yourself. You've had 30 some years before you got this. Look at these little kids who are fighting. Get over yourself, get up and fight. And so the next day I did just that. I went to visit 3 different breast surgeons, and I settled on one who I think is the absolute best, but we all think our doctors are the best for us. And I ended up having a lumpectomy, lots of chemotherapy, and 6 weeks every day of radiation. So I thought, okay, this is over, and I can go ahead and begin to live my life again or get back to some normalcy. Well, I did for a short period of time, for probably a year and a half. And then again, I felt something, and I went through the same process. It's funny, I mirrored the very same process. I went and had a mammogram, didn't show up on the mammogram. I went and had a sonogram, it didn't show up on the sonogram. And I went and had a biopsy, and again, it was conclusive. And by that time, I was so sick of cancer, and I was so sick of the process. I told my doctor, get rid of that breast. It has caused me way too many problems. It is an interruption in my life. Get rid of it. Give me another one. Lift up the other one, and let me get on with my life. And I'm happy to share that was 18 years later, and I haven't looked back. The journey wasn't easy, but I have decided, since I'm still here, I am still blessed by God. I am healed by God. And the very thing I can do, the only thing I can do, I feel like I have an obligation and responsibility, and that is to help others. Who will, as I heard one doctor say, wear the bra that I ultimately have worn. And so I have dedicated the second part of my life, and I guess the rest of it, to trying to do just that. It's to be a voice for those who will walk through the journey of breast cancer, to advocate for legislation that will help protect cancer patients, and just be hopefully a face of hope for people who travel the journey. I know oftentimes when people hear the words, I have cancer, the first thing you think of is death. And thank God my faith wouldn't allow me to feel that way, but I know the realities of it. And so I just want to share with people that it doesn't always mean death, that you can go on and live a happy, healthy life again. And hopefully I do that. So I just like to leave people with three things. And the first one is be fearless with your health. You are in control of it. You know your body better than anyone. And if you think something's wrong, go advocate on behalf of yourself and get it checked out. Get your screenings done. They help save lives. They did mine twice, ironically. The second thing is fight for your right to have access to adequate, affordable health care. You deserve it. You deserve the best treatments. You deserve access to clinical trials. You deserve not to have to pay a fortune for it. So advocate for your right for health care. The next thing is if you survive breast cancer or any type of cancer, reach back and lend a hand and help someone else. Be a voice for them. We all need each other. We're all in this fight together. We can't make it alone. And so reach back and grab someone else. And lastly, have faith in God. Thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate you.
Jackie, thank you. I'm back here clapping. Exactly, that's what they're saying was with Black women, we are not advocates for ourselves. We don't stand up and fight and demand health care for us. We don't talk about breast health. We don't talk about, among other Black women, and push us to go and get checkups with our breasts and stuff. And that's one of our issues, why we die so high of breast cancer, because we don't demand the fair treatment out there, and we don't take action. And I appreciate you saying that, Jackie, and I will see you soon.
Thank you.
We all appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have a few things that, like Jackie said, you have to do your research and you have to find out where you can go to get free to no-cost mammograms. So there are a few places around in the metropolitan area that you can go to. It's called National Mammogram Program. And this is by National Breast Cancer Foundation and the National Mammogram Program. So if you look up nbcf.org, nbcf.org/national-mammogram-program, they will help you get a free or low-cost mammogram. There also is National Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program. This is the website is cdc.gov/cancer/NBCCEDP. Again, cdc.gov/cancer/NBCCEDP. And they also help you find out places where you can get mammograms done in the District of Columbia and all other 50 states out there. And also the National Cancer Institute, cancer.gov. They will also direct you to low-cost mammograms or mammograms free of charge. And I just want to go back what Jacqueline said. They have basically Black women on a whole, we do not fight for breast cancer, fair health treatment. And that's one reason why we do die. We don't talk about it among ourselves. We don't educate other women about breast cancer. We also need to know our risk within our family, just like Jacqueline was talking about, and we need to be aware of that. So that's one thing, us as Black women, we need to start helping each other and being advocates and being sisters for each other, even if we're not blood sisters, being sisters for each other. And also, I want to add on from Rhonda Hamilton, her excellent at Lombardi Center. Their website is https://capital breastcare.georgetown.edu. And they also will help you get a mammogram. Please, please, a mammogram can save your life or guide you into a right direction where you need to be into. Now, I'm going to have the honor, and hopefully we will continue as partners. I'm going to introduce the president of the Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated, Beta Kappa chapter, the president, Honor Kimberly Coleman. Thank you, Kimberly, for letting us join you with this program. We are very honored to join up with your sorority. So I'm going to let you take it from here, Kimberly.
All right, Winona, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with Black Nurses Rock DMV chapter, and thank you so much for moderating today's town hall. It's been a wonderful opportunity. I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. In closing, we first and foremost would like to thank the courageous breast cancer warriors, Charlene Mullins and Jacqueline Beal, for sharing your experience, strength, and hope and fight, and how that starts with detection and treatment for all of us today. We've learned so much. We have been so inspired, myself personally, so much. And we also want to thank all of you very brave survivors who may be watching with us from home. We stand with each and every one of you. Thank you to the members of the DMV chapter of Black Nurses Rock and the members of the Beta Kappa chapter of Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated, along with my sorors across the country in our organization. This partnership has been amazing to make this town hall a reality. Both the members that you saw on screen today and many more behind the scenes that have made this reality a possibility. Thank you to Thelma Jones and Rhonda Hamilton for joining us today so that so many could learn about the amazing work that your organizations are doing in support of breast cancer survivors here locally in the DMV. We heard so much critical information on how hope truly does begin with detection, and why and how, as African-American women, breast cancer affects us disproportionately, but also what we can do about it. I know for myself personally, I can say, yes, I do get my yearly mammogram. Yes, I am of that age. I know it might not look like it, but I am. But however, serious business, I'm not doing my monthly breast exams. And I'm just put it out there for everyone, and I'm going to commit today. Winona told us we need to know our breasts. The brave warriors that we heard from talked to us about how detection started for at least some of them when they literally felt their own breast, something wasn't right. So after this town hall, I commit to you that I am going to start today. I'm going to start those monthly exams today. I'm going to put it on my calendar. And I encourage each of you watching at home to make that same commitment to at least getting your monthly self-exams done at home. If you're already doing that, great. If you're already having your yearly mammograms, if you're of that age and that's part of your healthcare plan, wonderful. Share this live and this critical information with your sister, with your girlfriend, with your neighbor, with your coworker, and encourage him, because breast cancer also affects men, or her to do the same as well. As we leave you today, the Beta Kappa chapter treasurer and also Black Nurses Rock member Alana Askew has prepared a survivor stroll for us with some of the names of the many courageous and brave breast cancer warriors that we hold eternal space for in our hearts. I'm going to play that now, and I would please like you to share that space with us. And please enjoy the rest of your weekend and your Saturday. Thank you.